What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a moist cinnamon swirl loaf. Today we're going to be talking about arrays. I'm trying to keep a smooth voice. I was going to say food, or voice. I'm trying to keep a smooth voice. Kind of. Nah, I can't do that. I'm trying. I can't do that. So, anyways. Yeah, we're going to be talking about arrays. We did touch on it somewhat in the first video, even though we didn't. We really didn't, right? So we're going to be talking about it, okay? So let's actually look at the data first of all. So obviously this data is supposed to be a array, right? The salary, it's inside of an array, but if you see over here, our salary, it's not an array, it's an object. So you got 0 and then 1, 0 being having all this, and 1 being Willie. So Firebase is actually an object database. It'll give you object back, an object back. It'll construct everything as an object, and it'll give you something back as an object. So you can't really store arrays inside of it. It'll just convert our array into objects, salary, and then 0, 1 with properties indexes, right? So this is going to be kind of a problem. The reason why is because our React project, budget snob, it actually runs off of arrays. We feed it an array instead of an object. So that way, that's how it gets the data it wants to, right? We loop through arrays, not through objects. So we are going to have to reconfigure how we actually do this. Now, we do need to figure out the structure of it. So right now what we're doing is not good, obviously, because we're creating our proper array over here, right, where we have the array with the ID inside of that and all that, which is not really good because you get 0, 1, 2, and then that just goes out of place. You don't even know where WDJ is inside that array. I'm doing air quotes inside the array. You don't know where that is. So this is kind of a bad structure for these things. A better way to do it is actually, instead of a 0 would be the ID of that object, right? So the ID of WDJ would be our index right here, our property right here, and it will give us the employee and our salaries. Same thing for employees. Our ID would be up here. That would give us the employee, the location, and all that stuff. So this is what we're going to be focusing on today. Now, you might be wondering, okay, how do we actually give it a specific ID? This property right here, a specific ID. Well, Ref actually has a method we could use, and that is called push. We could actually push something to the structure of our application. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's create another salary, all right? And it's going to be for a completely different person. So in here, I still have all this deleted, and I am going to get rid of this stuff right here. I don't really care for this. And like I said, we could always, on the last video, we could always subscribe to what we want to see or hear. So don't worry about it. All right, so right here, this is where we're going to actually give our property that unique ID for the specific salary of some employee. So let me actually copy this. So we're going to do database .ref, and we do want to reference salary, the actual table, air quotes again, the table salary. So I am going to put salary right here, salary, because we want to push this to that table. So we want to push what we're about to enter, which is this new entry, which employee is going to be, I don't know, I'm going to say Ben. I have no idea. I'm running out. Salary doesn't really matter. And not the ID. Screw the ID. We don't want the ID. The ID is going to be the property, like we said. Now, if we actually save this right now, which I did, and I have it right here, so we should see it right here. Here we go. You see this right here? Bam. We get this unique identifier. a unique ID which has the employee bin and salary 43. Now, we can't really customize this ID, so it's going to give this. This is a unique ID though. You're not able. You could do multiple pushes and you're never going to see the same ID, so that's good. So this is how we're going to actually be referencing where to get bin from, or where to find WDJ at. You know, because you can have a salary of a lot of people, and you need to find where WDJ is at. So how would you do that? By this unique ID that Push provided or Firebase provided. Now let's actually go back in here and actually do it with our React app of Budget Snob, where we have a description, note, amount, created at, all that stuff. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of this. Okay, and I'm actually, let me see, I'm gonna beautify this. Okay, and I'm actually going to create our, our property where expenses. We've seen this already. Expenses. We're gonna create a table, a property, of expenses, and we're gonna be pushing things to this table. Now, our first push would be something like description. Description is going to be rental truck. Oops, not right there, right here. Rental truck. We have a note, and we're gonna just leave that empty for now. We have the amount, and let's be realistic. $450. And let's say created at. Remember, we do have a created at, but for right now, I'm just going to enter a string of 03/10/2020, and I'm doing dots // just like that. Now, if we actually save this, remember, we don't have expenses, so that's not a problem. It's going to create a air quotes again. I'm not even going to say air quotes anymore. It's going to create an expenses table and just push all of this to that. So Control Save. Now we look over here. We should see it, and we do get our expenses right there. So we crack that open. We do get a UID. We crack that open. We do get our amount, our created at. Wait, is it created at? Nope, it's just created. Did I? Oh, it's created at. Control Save. We did get our created at, our description, and our note, which we don't have. And every time you do it, it is going to give you a new one. So if we actually, we're not updating this. Remember, we're not updating it, so it doesn't know that this is an update to an existing expense. So every time I do something like this, like I just added a exclamation, Control Save, is going to add a new one over here, and you can see that right now. But let's actually wipe our database, all of it completely. I'm just going to wipe it. All data at this location, including nested data, will be permanently deleted. That's fine. Delete. We're gonna delete all that. All right, now let me just get rid of this, so that way we just only have expenses with that one property. Now, let me actually create two more. This is going to be house payment. I don't know, 1700. And this was going to be, I don't know, water bill. And let's say water bill is at 120. If you Control Save this now, go over here. We should see, yep, two more, or actually three more. So in total of four. Like I said, it doesn't know that this is being modified. It's just pushing again. So yeah. Yep, we do have four. So here's our one, here's our house payment, and here's our water bill. Awesome. So another thing that we want to actually keep track of, if this particular expense is removed, or if we actually change something from, let's say, this expense. Maybe amount went up. We want to know what's happening within our application. Now, how do we do that? Well, we're going to actually be using our .on event listener, but instead of value, we're going to actually use another event, and there's a lot of them. So let's actually go to the refs or the docs. Let's go to Firebase right here. Let's go to docs. Let's go to reference and JavaScript. We're going to go to Firebase database and reference right here. We're going to click on the on, and this will give us all of the events that we can use. We could use a value event, the child added. When you add a child, it'll notify that you added a child. If you remove the child, it'll notify you that you removed one. Child changed, meaning basically if you update a child, it'll notify you that. And child moved, maybe you moved it to another location, it'll tell you that. So let's actually explore this a little bit over here in our I'm blanking out in our code. So let me actually copy this. Copy down here. We're going to do child underscore removed first. So paste this right here. Instead of that, it's going to be child removed. Copy, paste, and we still get the same thing. We still get a snapshot back. Now, we do want to add one more thing to this. Instead of just counterlogging the snapshot.val, val will give you the what was inside that value, or where is it right here? What was inside that value? And we're actually going to reference expenses because that's where we're deleting the things from. So let's not forget about that. Anyways, snapshot.val will give you the value of what we just deleted, but we also want the key, the ID. That unique ID that we created, or Firebase creates for us, we want that as well. And how do we get that? Is literally called snapshot.key. And that is it. It's snapshot.key will give you that unique ID. Now, let me actually comment this because I'm about to save it. Comment this out so that way we don't get any more. Control save. And then as you can see over here, we don't get anything no more. Now, let me actually move this right here so that way, because I actually need to do this side by side so that way you can see what's going on. So I'm gonna, okay, right now we have nothing removed. We haven't removed nothing. Now we do have a duplicate of this stuff, so I'm actually going to delete this first one. I'm gonna delete it, and over here we should say, oh, look at that. We do get a notification saying that, hey, this ID, the snapshot.key, and this was the data on that snapshot, and this was deleted, obviously, because we just snapshotted that. Anyways, that was for child removed. I'm actually going to copy this. Now let's actually do child changed. Right here, changed, and right here is going to be changed. If I control save this, let's go back to our apps. Now, if I change something, let's say our house payment right here is actually increased to, I don't know, $2,400. See right there, it actually gives us, or it notifies us that, hey, this ID, and it gives us all the data back. Now, it doesn't really give us the specific of what actually changed, but it does give us the data back, which that's fine. We could actually use this. So now let's actually move on to copy child added. Now, child added might be a little bit different than when you expect. So let's actually control save this right now and see the unexpected thing that you're thinking about, or you're like, what was happening? So I just saved that, or I should have. No, I didn't save it. Now I saved that. And what do we get? We actually get 3 things coming back. And you're wondering, why is there 3 things coming back? Well, child added works differently. So for child removed, it only listens to if a child was removed. Same thing for child changed. It only listens to if a child was updated or changed. But child added actually shoots, or gives you data back on every single child that's already inside the database for that reference for expenses. So if we look back at our thing, we do have 3 things coming back, or 3 things inside our expenses, which we do get 3 things out here, and we also get our expenses, and inside expenses we do get all of them right there. So it works just like this. So if we actually down here, let me actually do an uncomment this one and do like, I don't know, gas bill 160. If we actually do it, it's going to shoot 3 of them for 3 of them that already exist inside the Firebase database, and this one as well. So we should get a total of 4 back, not including the expenses object that it throws back at us. So control save this right now. We should get 5 or 4. Wait, 4. Yes, here it is. We get our gas bill, and then we get our other 3 that we have inside our database. Now, I told you where you could look this up if you have any questions. You could always go to their docs and look all these things up. Now, so with that said, we're not going to be using child moved as much. Like I said, this is just when it moves around inside of it, like a sort. There it is right there. When the sort order changes, we're not going to be using that as much. You can play around with it if you want. You could probably create new things with this. Let me know down in the comments what, if you do use this, what would you use it for? Anyways, this is basically all there is for Firebase. I mean, there's a ton more that you could do right here. I mean, there's just so much things, but this is probably just the basics for our application budget snob that we actually need. So this is it for Firebase, or this is it for like, I guess going over the basics of Firebase. Now we're going to actually start incorporating all these things to our React application and how we could actually do these things. So in the next video, we are going to be doing Firebase with Redux. So look forward with that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you do enjoy I sure hope you do enjoy this, because this is, you clicked on the video for a reason, but I also hope that you actually learned something from this video. And thank you so much for giving your time, or putting up some of your time to watch my videos. I really do appreciate that. And give a like to this video if you learned something. Leave a comment down below if you think this was useful, helpful, or anything else that you need help on. And subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.